Okay, I already told you I got ripped off once by taking a cab off the street. And my dumbass decided to do a tour from a guy I met on the street. At first he said, don't worry, it's not gonna cost you anything. So I figured he would get commission off the place he was taking me. Well, then at the end of the tour, he tells me he wants to charge me 7 million dong, which is equivalent to almost $300. And what the when you do a legitimate tour, none of the legitimate tours cost that much. All right? And the tour wasn't even all that great that he gave me. So no matter what you do not, I repeat, do not use anyone off the street. But I knew not to do it, but I did it anyway, and that was my dumbass mistake. So the total day cost me about $320. Plus, when I went to the ATMs he took me to, that was like $30 per fee. So the whole thing cost me about $400 total for like a 2-hour or 3-hour tour. Do not use anyone off the street. Only use Grab or Boat, not the taxis, none of them, all right? So I'm letting you know right now, don't do the dumbass shit that I did. I'm in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and this is not a place where I want to retire because the pollution is just way too much for me. Not the heat, it's the pollution. Okay, so I'm just letting everyone know, don't do it. Out. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I knew not to do it and I did it anyway. So I got blamed that one on me. I knew not to do it and I did it anyway. But here's how stupid he was. Remember I told you I met some guys from Africa who had gold to sell? And he's been in this town, a local, and he said he knew how to sell it, right? The commission he would have made off of that gold would have been enough to set him up for his retirement. So because I felt he ripped me off and didn't treat me fairly, I can't recommend him. But if I did recommend him, the amount of product that these guys said they have would have set him up just on a commission of 10%. Would have been more money than what he would have made in a lifetime. And all he had to do was say, okay, the 7 million dong is too much. I cut it down to like 2 million or something like that. I would say, okay, cool. You're trying to be fair about it. You're charging me too much. And then I could probably recommend him. But not now. So because he did that, the amount of money he blew to make a short buck, make a short-term money or short-term gain, he blew to make a long-term profit. It's like you make a penny and you lose a dime. Or something, I forgot to say, but that was some dumb shit. Don't blow a good deal for some bullshit. All right. Okay. Okay, here's how the scam went. Meet you on the street, talk to you, shows you how people wrote in his book about how they recommended him and all the other stuff, right? What he does is he takes you on a tour, everything he says he does, and then at the end of the tour, before he charges you, he asks you to write in his book how great everything was. And you do, and then he tells you what the price is. Now, when I first met him, he said, don't worry, it's not gonna cost you anything, right? But at the end is when he charged me, and that pissed me off, because first he said, when I first met him on the street, it's not gonna cost you anything, I'm just gonna take you around, and he showed me all his recommendations. Then at the end of the tour, he asked me to write in his book recommendation, and then after I wrote it in the book, then he charges. So like I said, these guys know what they're doing. They got their scam down pat. But like I said, he was stupid because, like I said, if it means making a bigger profit at the back end, always good to lose money on the front end. And he could have just still broke even with no problem whatsoever, which is like $100. But because I could not recommend him, he lost a whole lot of money on the back end. If he knew, well, And he probably didn't know where to take the gold and where to sell it at a good, reasonable price. Because he knows he's been here all his life. He knows everyone and anyone. God, he's so stupid. Yeah, don't blow a dollar just trying to make a penny. This is some dumb shit. Yeah, don't blow money on the back end. You take a loss on the front end if it means you can make a greater profit on the back end. That's why people stay poor. They don't see the long-term gain. They only see the short-term losses. But I'm so pissed off because that's rent. Basically, I put out about $400. So now I got to figure out where to cut my budget to make that up. Well, hopefully when I get to Thailand, and I'm staying there for a month, or 6 months, I'll be able to make it back in savings. Okay, later.